There's Mr. Ballarta.
Hey, what's up? Good night.
Mr. Talavera. Okay, so we got Eduardo Talavera. He's the bald guy with the beard.
Hello.
And then Citric, Big Citric. He's the bald guy with the goatee.
Yeah.
And Carlos Ballarta, he's the guy with the long ass motherfucking hair. No, guys. Hey, thank you guys for coming on, man. You know, shit. Lot of stuff been going on lately with I don't know if you guys follow like on Instagram and all that, but there's a lot of like tension on between black and brown, because I guess some black kids keep robbing the vendors on the street. Have you seen the videos, Citric?
Yeah, I see some of the videos, man. And, you know, and it's just it's a shame, you know, but I like, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people trying to make it into race, but I don't think it's race, man, because you know what I'm saying? There's like there's bad apples in every you know, in every crate, man. So it's like, you know, but I think for some reason I think they're trying really hard like to start something, man.
You know, that's exactly what I wanted to say. There's the man behind all of this.
Yeah.
You know, because I think there was a truce that came out. I don't know if Eduardo, Carlos, you guys are aware, but there was a truce that came out between black and brown people. They made this truce, and black people have come out on Instagram and made videos saying, "Hey, man, if we see you doing this shit, we're gonna fuck you up. We're gonna kick your ass because you're starting beef. What they're saying is, you know, somebody who's black and innocent is gonna get hurt because you're doing this stupid shit." My thing is this, man. The FBI, the CIA, they've been known to stir shit up. Yeah. And when you're making a truce, they don't want black and brown people to get along, bro.
Yeah, that just makes it stronger.
Yeah, that don't benefit. And I'm not saying white people, because I think there's like, to me, it's not a racial thing. Yeah. It's an economic thing. You know what I'm saying? And if you get black and brown people together, it's gonna create this whole new, this whole new power, because the votes are gonna be different. The people running for position gonna be different. That's what the powers that be don't want. They want okay, if black and brown get along, who loses the most? Got the fucking all those banks that own prisons and jails and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, they remember when this shit started with the COVID, what happened? They had to start letting people out. They had to start letting people out because of the COVID. So they let the non-violent offenders, right? They started letting them out of jails and prisons.
Yeah.
So now they're just trying to fucking find a way to get motherfuckers back in jail. And what better way? You know, I'm thinking that these black kids that you see on the videos, I bet you they're not even from LA, bro. I bet you they're from like fucking Arizona, or they bring them from somewhere else, and then they take their ass back or some shit. I bet you, man. I don't know, man. It's
I feel like they might be getting paid, dog.
Yeah.
You know I feel they might be getting paid for that, or the parents just didn't teach these kids respect, because it's not just in the black community. It's like Latinos, white, even, you know, like there's disrespectful people everywhere. And then you got the people that really have respect for others, you know, and opinions and views. So it could be either they're getting paid, or it's the parents that don't, you know what I'm saying? They're not teaching respect.
So here's a question for you, Eduardo, and you, Carlos. And I'll start with you, Carlos. Is from the outside looking in, have you known that there's been tension between black and brown in the United States?
Yeah, I mean, I'm aware of that, and it doesn't really come as a surprise. I mean, I'm not from the U.S., but I mean, it's not a secret that it's pretty much the tactic the U.S. Government or forces, employs every time it wants to just get, involved in a certain conflict. Like they did that in Mexico when they invaded back in the 19th century. They, started making people separated by their ideology rather than by what they are and who they are. They did the same in Vietnam. They did the same everywhere the government has been involved in. They try to separate people and just don't let them, come together. And it sounds rather insuspiciously similar to all of that.
Yeah, fuck. Yeah, dude. And how about you, Eduardo? Have you known about these things? And it's funny because, and I'll make this point before I let you answer, that we know I'm sure Citric knows that all this shit, the people on the street are cool, but these fucking orders come from the prisons, man.
Yeah.
These orders come from the prisons, and then the shit starts, and then all this shit gets escalated on the street that has nothing to do with us. Nothing to do with us on the street. It has to do with everything from the prisons. So have you, like, I mean, aside from watching Blood In, Blood Out, and fucking, American Me and shit, like, right, Talavera? So did you know about this shit? Have you known about this?
Edward James Olmos is my only documentation for any knowledge I have between black and brown people. What I think is, white people are easily scared. They panic easily. So when they feel, I mean, it's not like white people on the street, like white regular people. I think it is in mostly right now with the elections coming, Trump needs to divide, like the most people he divides, he has the most votes because white people are gonna go out and vote for him. I mean, not all black people, white people, but most of them. Like Trump supporters are very much like AMLO supporters over here in Mexico. They just want him there. They don't think about like what he's really doing or whatever. They just want him there. So people, brown people and black people coming together is going to turn around the vote radically. Like it's very, I don't know if it's coming from the prisons. I'm not sure. I mean, I don't see the interest being, when you hear a conspiracy or something that is not on the regular imagination of people, you got to think about who's getting the benefits. And I don't see any benefits from people like giving orders from prison to commit crime. I mean, it's. I don't think there's
but it happens, bro. No, it happens.
No, I know. But as you put it, like a whole system working against black and brown people coming together, I don't see the benefit like from an order coming from inside the prison. I think it is mostly, I don't know, just bad apples. I think like everywhere you look, you can find like good and bad, like either black, brown, Asian, whatever. You're gonna find like 2 or 3 idiots that just want to start shit. Like I think like if it comes from brown people, it's the kind of people that believe that Sac de la Rocha is like a prophet. So like that kind of people. and if it's coming from
you're not a Sac de la Rocha fan or what?
Oh, I love his music, but he's a fucking asshole. he's got this theory that Aztlán and Tenochtitlan were really, I don't know if it was in Idaho or some shit like that.
Oh, in Utah. Well, because there's an old map. So check this out. There's a map from the 1800s or 17. I can't fucking remember, but I remember my Chicano history teacher at the university. He showed us this map, and it said that the place where they were from, the Aztecs, was in Utah, and it's on the map. It says the original land of the Aztecs, and he said that that's where they marched down from Utah all the way down to Mexico City. So I think maybe he got caught wind of that theory, which hasn't been proven. But
just quick thing, like I've seen this kind of behavior, like this kind of biased knowledge in every ideological tendency. Like there's, if you're white, you're trying to justify that Vikings were here before the Native Americans, and if you're black, I heard the other day on I guess it was a Joe Rogan's podcast, a black guy who says that black people were here even before the Aztecs. Like they knew how to sail way before they were brought over here. So
yeah, but that's like a Mormon belief, right?
Huh?
What?
That's like what the Mormons believe.
Would they believe they were here first too?
Yeah, they believe that people from Israel came over and they settled here, and they got the Nephites and the Lamanites, and the Lamanites supposed to be black people. So
oh shit,
maybe that's
the Amalekites and all those guys. Yeah, And it's like
Malachites.
it's very coincidental. It's very coincidental that it is always in the first world country. I mean, it's never Guatemala.
Yeah.
You know,
But
it's never like
something crazy is I was watching this documentary the other day about the Mayans, and they found Mayan ruins in Georgia, in the state of Georgia. And then there's 3 tribes in Florida. There's 3 tribes in Florida with the name. I can't remember the fucking names, but it was like the Mayaimi, and then there's a city of Miami, and then there's a city of Miami, and they're thinking that because all those names come from the Mayans, that the Mayans were all along the southeast part of the United States, bro, which fucking could possibly well be, because I mean, how far is that from from Yucatan and all that, from the area where you see all the ruins? It's on the same side, it's on the same coast, and the names, and then they said the language of the Native Americans in Georgia have a lot of Mayan words in it. So that's some crazy shit, dude. And they're just finding this shit out now. You know what I mean? You ever rap about that, Citric? You ever do a song? I don't know if you guys know, but Citric he's a hip hop artist, Latino, Chicano hip hop artist out here from Pueblo Cafe. Are you still Pueblo Cafe? I mean, I don't want to spread rumors and shit.
Yeah, no, I'm still using the name, the brand Pueblo Cafe, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I haven't really done with it not much in a couple of years. You know, just kind of been focused more with the acting and all that stuff.
Yeah, I looked up your videos, and I saw the last video I saw, I was in it, and I was like, no, and I was watching the video, Citric, and I'm like, holy shit! I don't talk to that person. I don't talk to that person. I don't need Citric's not even with that person. So it was just a crazy. And it's not even that I don't talk to that person. That person doesn't talk to me. Like, just crazy shit, bro. I mean, but that's the way this business is, man. Cuando hay papitas, everybody's there at the plate. Cuando no hay, everybody scatters, bro.
Ain't nothing. Everybody's just scattered around, man. And then when you drop the bread on the floor, man, all the pigeons show up.
Exactly.
So,
yeah, dude. Well, you were doing the Lopez show at that time. You were on Lopez show. What was that like, man? Working on that.
It was dope, man. You know what I'm saying? It was I had been doing acting for a while. You know, did a couple movies here and there, and like little background stuff here and there, and did commercials. But to be on an actual show, with the living legend like George Lopez, so it was kind of surreal, but at the same time, it was like I was just enjoying the ride too. I was like, fuck it, man. It is what it is. Like I just go every day. Like I just flow with it, man. Whatever comes my way, and if I'm feeling it, let's roll, man. If not, then I won't. But yeah, it's just one of those things, man. We're just kind of surreal, dog.
Yeah, it's funny because I think I told you this back then. The only reason I would watch was because of you, because I thought your character was funny, and I told you, and I said it's sad because there was other comedians on there, and I think they were. I mean, it's not their fault. It all has to do with the writing. But sometimes you get a lot of cheesy writing, man. It just fucks the whole shit up, man. Like, I mean, you guys know Carlos and Talavera. You guys know in Mexico City, you guys been, I mean, yeah, I know Talavera he's been shitting on old comedy for a long time. It's not that he shits on the old comedy. He just shits on the fact that they keep doing it. Like it's not that it's not funny. It's just that you got to evolve. I mean, you feel the same way about that, Ballarta?
I don't know. I think I used to feel that way, but now I think that maybe all different kinds of comedy should exist, and let people choose whatever they want to choose.
No, but I'm saying, like, do you think maybe? I mean, I get that, and I'm with that too because I like it. I think it's funny. I'll laugh my ass off, but then there's sometimes because my wife loves all that shit. Check this out, and I'll start watching with her. I'm like, oh my god, I've seen this fucking joke before, and I've seen this joke before, and I've seen this joke before. Like, and that's I think that's what Talavera, I think that's what he means when he talks about it. It's like they keep repeating the same shit over and over and over. The little drunk lady or the little drunk dude. And then, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
there's this little beef between this comedian from Monterrey.
Yeah.
He's doing a character that is something like something Omar Chaparro did, like, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, something like that.
Yeah.
And now Omar Chaparro is thinking about suing him because of intellectual property violation, some shit like that.
Yeah. Good
And
luck with that shit.
I'm no, yeah, but I'm just like amazed that someone would fight for that shit. Like, it's just this guy disguised as a I don't know, some lady that works at an office, and she's very crass, and she's very like the whole thing about the bit is that she doesn't care what she says, and she's just swearing and saying that kind of shit. It's like, I don't understand. I think that people like, and it's not because he's here. He knows I love his comedy. Uh, you watch something like Carlos, like, I don't know, Richie, Roberto, like all the guys, and we're trying to do new stuff all the time. We're trying to maybe revisit some subjects and shit,
Some
but
premises.
with a fresh outlook, a different angle. I don't know. It's a grueling job. It's not
Fucking
easy
A.
to write comedy. It's not easy to come up with an idea and then go up at an open mic or a regular show or whatever, and get the same reaction every time. And what I think is they're exploiting one big defect that Mexican audiences have, which is nostalgia. They love to remember shit.
Oh
They,
yeah.
they don't. I mean, there are little girls. There are 16 and 17-year-olds that are dancing to fucking Timbiriche.
Dude,
What
I
the
was gonna
fuck is
tell
that?
you, dude. My wife throws that shit on, bro. I'm not fucking really.
Yeah, but your wife is 40.
Yeah,
But
that's
your
true.
wife is 40. I
Shit,
mean,
40
you know
plus.
what I can tell from a girl dancing to Timbiriche if she's 17 years old is that her mother just like shove it in her face, and is not letting her like discover new shit. That's what I find like what I don't like about Mexican comedy, like Latino comedy in general, and the over exploitation. What, for example, George Lopez does that a lot. Fluffy does that a lot. That little scream at the end of every joke, like,
Yeah.
y entonces la tía me dijo, fuck you, pendejo. And that's like, dude, that's not even a punchline. What the fuck is that? You know? Y entonces que me pega con la chancla. And you're like, dude, I'm fucking doing mental gymnastics to get like one fucking point across, and try not to look dumb. And these guys are just screaming pendejo. That's what it takes.
Yeah, it's funny because I don't know if you ever watched George Lopez when he first started, or in his earlier years. He was not that kind of comic, but that's what made him famous. And I think he just stuck to it because he used to do not intellectual, but the thought-provoking humor, and the what you would consider, or what would be considered, mainstream humor, and he was just another comedian. But when he became that Latino guy that la tía me pegó con la chancla, fucking, that's when he blew up, bro. That's when he blew up, and I think he found the formula that worked. He became a millionaire. I mean, look, dude, I'm with you. Hey, but one thing I will say though is that I think he's killed it, like literally killed it in doing the same shit for the last couple of years. Like, he hasn't changed his shit. They try to be political, but it's just like Trump me la pela, Trump me la pela, Trump me la pela. You know what I'm saying? Like, and look, man, I'm not gonna. I cannot dog somebody who's more successful than I am, but from as a fan, but as a fan, he's worn me out. Like, I can't watch it anymore, to be honest with you.
I just want to say, it's like, I know that there are two roads in comedy. Like, there are a lot more, but there are like two very distinct roads. One is you stick to your comedy and you keep doing it, and you keep pulling audiences and trying to get people to like you. That's one way. And then there's the other, which is not even that easy. It's not like I will just scream pendejo on stage and they will love me. It's not even that. I mean, it's just that the other side has a lot more compromise from your principles, you could say. I don't know. But what I do know is that success plays a big part on how much you can defend your own comedy. Like, for example, if you listen to George Lopez, like his last special is the same thing he's been doing for like the last 10 years.
That's what I'm saying.
And the other but there's another example, which is the worst that can happen to a guy, which is Carlos Mencia. Carlos Mencia just ate it, but he was on his way to that same thing. And
No,
I don't know.
Carlos Mencia is different,
maybe,
bro. Carlos Mencia is different. I'm sorry. I'm gonna tell you. Carlos Mencia is totally. Carlos Mencia, maybe he did a little bit of that, but he never did La Tia with the chancla. Remember, he never did that. His thing, he did different things. He talked more about. He had a more insight into pop culture and into current events than George does.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, let me tell you, dude. I've never seen comedians kill the way Mencia used to kill at the Comedy Store. That motherfucker used to destroy. When he went on stage, destroy. And that's why the comedians didn't like his ass. That's why Joe Rogan brought him down. Because look, okay, the joke they fucking accused him of that you saw on the thing, the joke they accused him of stealing, like fucking 30 comics did that joke. I'm exaggerating, but if they get rid of Mexicans, who's gonna build the wall? That's like such a simple joke that's probably the first thing that came to everybody's mind. Well, yeah, if they throw us out.
It's low hanging fruit.
George Lopez did that joke. Fluffy did that joke. D.L. Hughley did that joke. Ari Shaffir did that joke. I can't name them all. I seen other people do that joke.
It was a around joke.
Because that's the first thing you thought of. Really? They're gonna kick us out? Well, good luck building that shit. You know what I mean? Like the Chinese ain't coming back.
It's still funny.
Yeah, the Chinese ain't coming back to build that shit. You know what I mean? Like they're on Wall Street now. They don't fuck with railroads and shit. You know what I'm saying? So you think there's Hey Carlos, do you think there's anything that compares to that? Like to what we're talking about in Mexican comedy and comedy over there in Mexico? Is there anything that compares to that? Like as far as like the hackiness or a comedian that hasn't evolved really? Is there anything that compares to that?
Yeah, there is. I mean, it happens all the time. You got a lot of comedians that are telling jokes that sometimes you think like, dude, that's like you said, the first thing that came to everybody's mind. And maybe that's the reason why it's being so popular, such that your jokes being so popular is because everybody's thinking it. And, more people that think exactly like you are going to like your material. But I don't know, man. I mean, I've been going through a lot of
soul-searching
thinking. Yeah, like rethinking and redefining myself. And I
well,
think
to each his own. Like to me, it's to each his own, right? I mean, if you want to do that, if they're gonna do that, then they can do it. I mean, I'm just saying that I think our thing is as a fan or as a comedy fan or maybe as an artist, like you like we think differently. We think like, man, I gotta challenge myself and I gotta challenge my material. Like I can't go for the easy shit. If that first thing, if I say every first joke that just pops in my head, I guarantee you that fucking joke has been told. Because if it's that easy, because the real shit, you got to work on it, bro. Like the real shit, you got to work on it, and it evolves. It evolves. And Citric, you've been doing comedy now. When did you start? How long you been doing it now?
Oh no, like I can't. Oh, hold on, no, my bad.
Somebody's calling you.
Yeah, hold on. My bad.
Go ahead, man.
Let's see. I'm trying to.
He's trying to find out who it is.
Yeah, no.
You were supposed to be here an hour ago.
Yeah. Now like the thing with as far as man, I can't speak up too much on it because I haven't been doing it for long.
No, but how when did you start? When did you start though?
Like I want to say, pretty much when like around the time after we did like the first season of Lopez.
Okay.
Is when I started hanging around with a lot of comedians, and I mean, I've been going to a lot of comedy clubs for a minute, dude, but now I was seeing it from behind the scenes. Now I was seeing it from the green room. I was hanging out with everybody. I was hanging out with you, with Momo, with with Phil, with all these cats, man, and just and just kind of just vibing on it and just tripping out all the way the comedy world works, man. And it's like
all the bitterness, all the fucking bitterness.
You know, and I get nervous. No matter even when when I was doing music, you know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't the same. I wouldn't get nervous when I go on stage. Like go on stage to do a couple of minutes, I get nervous as fuck, you know. And it's just like I got to give it to every comedian that steps up there, man. And then
what's harder? What's harder, the music or the comedy?
Not as easy as it looks, you know.
What's harder, the comedy or the music?
I would say the comedy, dog.
I think because music, if you have a good beat, that's all you need. Like the lyrics, fuck it. You know what I mean? You know, I'm gonna say whatever the fuck.
You can write off of a good beat and a good flow. It don't matter what the fuck you're saying. If you got a good flow, it'll ride. But when you're out there on stage trying to make motherfuckers laugh, you know, it's like a whole nother fucking ballgame because now the eyes are on you and now everybody's looking at you like, well,
make me laugh, motherfucker. Make me laugh. Yeah, and I was gonna say, look at Los Carquis. They made a fucking living off. And that's all they fucking say, bro. That's it. That's all they fucking say. I love that shit, but that's it. You know, what's it? Semenea. That's a fucking next song, dude. I thought, and you're like, I thought that was the same fucking song. I didn't know that was a different song. I thought that was the same shit. But they got a good little flow. They got a little beat. Mexicanos, we love to fucking dance and shit. You know, we like to get big. We like to party. So that's all you fucking need. And you know, never mind the ladies, our fucking women. That's what they love. You know, when it was cleaning day at home, it was the music, your mom dancing, fucking cleaning the house or where the fuck, and then you're over there, you're fucking hungover or whatever, or not hungover, but desvelado and shit, fucking mad as fuck because you gotta help clean or go outside and clean and fuck, man, like. But that's how we grow up, dude. It's say there's a joke for you, Talavera. And then your mom comes out with la escoba. Let's say,
that's a new special.
That's a new special. No, but you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I get what you do, but here's something. Is it as dark in the green room for music as it is in comedy, Citric? And what I mean by dark, the shit talking.
Man. I mean, shit, you know what? I would say, like, in the green room, it's almost like the same shit, the same kind of vibe, you know? Everybody's kicking it, partying, having a good time.
He's saying that guy sucks right there. Fuck, why did they put him before me? Do musicians do that? Like, why I gotta go up first? Why don't that motherfucker go first? Do they do that in music?
Yeah, sometimes if fools be arguing, you're like, hey, motherfucker, I went on first last show, man. You gotta go on now. It's almost like the same kind of vibe, dog. It's just, you know, but in comedy, because you got all these comics and shit going at it sometimes, and it's just even fucking comedy just watching that this madre go down.
Yeah. Well, see, the problem in the United States, for Latino comics is that there's so few opportunities that it's like we're like fucking cockroaches, bro. Everybody's on top of each other.
Yeah.
Because there's like 2 spots. There's fucking there's 100 spots, but only 2 go to Latinos. So now you got fucking all these Latino comics, and now forget the ones out here that you know on the West Coast. There's all the ones on the East Coast, the Puerto Rican cats and the Dominican cats, and the ones in Florida, the Colombian cats and the Cuban cats.
Yeah.
And now we're all fucking competing just to get on that one fucking show, bro. And that, you know, and then they it's a Mexican role and they give it to a fucking Cuban and I don't mean fucking any disrespect, but I'm just saying, like, they give it to a Puerto Rican cat or they give it to a Cuban cat.
Guilty human.
No, I'm just saying, but they give, like in movies, they give the role to a Cuban guy or a Puerto Rican guy. I said this other day. They gave La Bamba, they gave to Dude Diamond Phillips. He's none of that. He's none of those fucking things. He's Filipino, for Christ's sake.
But Filipino is mostly a Mexican that lives very, very far. Like that's a Filipino.
An Asian, a Mexican Asian.
that's a Mexican Asian. No, but you know, I think that it doesn't matter. I mean, it does matter if you get into that role. I think it's like this fucking cancellation culture. If you listen to it, if you go and apologize, you're gonna get in. You know, and I think it's the same idea here. if you buy too much into the idea that you're Mexican or you're Latino or whatever, and you put that in front of you instead of putting talent in front of you, you're gonna get wrecked. If you're good enough, maybe I'm just naive, but I think that if you're good enough, you don't have to identify like as anything. Like here in Mexico, I'm an old guy. I'm a 45-year-old comedian in Mexico. However, I'm not. I don't think. I mean, there's a lot of comedians that are way more successful than me, like Carlos, Richie. A lot of people that are bringing a lot of people into the rooms and that kind of thing. But I have never felt that I'm perceived as that old guy that does comedy, because every time I go on stage, I I try to kill. I mean, I don't always do, but you try to kill. And as long as you keep trying to do that, and as long as you keep you keep your material fresh, I think it doesn't matter if you're Latino or whatever. Like I've seen it a bunch of times. Like Carlos is an example of it. Like because here in Mexico, it's a very classist scene. There's a lot of like because the taste of the public is it's very oriented to the nice guy on stage, the handsome guy on stage, because that's where we live. I mean, we live in a novela culture. So the handsome guy gets an extra chance, a few minutes more of saying bullshit instead of a fucking punchline. And Carlos is one of the best, you know. And I don't think it has anything to do with the color of his skin or where he comes from. I think it is because he does good comedy. It doesn't have anything to do with how he looks.
I'm gonna disagree a little bit there. I think Carlos writes great material. It's something different, but I think the fact that people can look at him. No, but listen, I think people can look at him and they see him being successful. They want him to be successful because not many people that look like him become successful in Mexico. And I think people now are be like, fuck yeah, that motherfucker looks like me, dog. Like I'm the same color. I'm the same, I got the long black hair. I think people identify with that. And I mean, if he sucked balls, trust me, they'd be like, nah, fuck that. We don't want that motherfucker representing us. You know what I mean?
But
you know what I mean? Like,
let me tell you, the opposite example. There's this guy called Tenoch Huerta, which is a Mexican actor. He's pushing this idea that he's never had a good role because he's from an indigenous people of Mexico. He's been like pushing this narrative that all the opportunities that he could have had it better if he was white. And when I hear that kind of shit, it really bugs me because I know guys like, and Carlos is not the only one. There's Ivan Mendoza, and there's a lot of guys like Isra Pong, Lavea, a lot of guys that look. I know how it sounds, and I hate to talk like this. Like he looks very very brown, and it's a shitty conversation, because these kind of guys like Tenoch Huerta are bitching all the time of how much work they don't get because of the color of their skin. And then you look to the other side where there's talent.
But it's probably true though, man. It's probably fucking true. I mean, I don't know if the guy's talented or not. I don't know who he is. I'll be honest with you, but it's probably fucking true. Talavera, I mean, fuck, dude. Look, dude, listen. And I'm gonna tell you why. I have the opposite happen to me. I go to fucking auditions, and everybody in the room looks like Ballarta, and look at me, and I gotta sit there, and in the description it says they want a Latino, authentic, Mexican looking, person, and then I look at myself and go, well, there goes my fucking chances for getting this role. Everybody's fucking brown and like, I'm the only fucking güero in this room. You know what I mean? They're not gonna give it to me, and I know it. They do that because they do that shit.
Coconut,
dude. It's a fact. It's a fact. So in I don't know, maybe in fucking Mexico I would have had a better chance of being in novelas because I'm lighter.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But
you
here,
would be
but
a Mexican hunk.
But in this motherfucker. but in USA, no mames, way. They want, they want fucking Juanito and shit. They don't want me. You know what I mean? Like, it's a fact, dude. So like if you want to be in a lot of movies and shit, Vallarta, you gotta move to the United States, bro. Because here you get fucking booked for everything. They say we want an authentic. an authentic looking. Yeah, you could be the new machete, bro. You actually speak Spanish. That's another thing.
Does.
Huh? What'd you
He
say?
actually does.
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, I don't know, Citric. Have you ever read the breakdowns for fucking what do they say? Authentic looking Mexican.
They'll say, they want, like, they'll break it down, Hispanic looking, this age and this color, like sometimes they break
even
down
Citric. I bet you Citric. Hold on. Sorry to interrupt you, but even Citric, I bet you Citric, he's got like darker hair, whatever, but facial hair, sorry. Darker facial hair. But even you would have a hard time. I'm gonna tell you why you would have a hard time getting a role, because you're fucking tall. And they don't want tall Mexicans. And that's one thing that would work against you, Ballarta, because you're tall. And Citric's tall. They want the fucking little poblano dude. You know what I'm saying? The ones you see in New York City, that's who they want. When they want authentic, they say, look, dude. Let's start naming famous fucking Mexican actors. George Lopez. I mean, he's a comedian, but he's acting, right? Dark.
Yeah.
Dark hair. Machete. Dark hair. Fucking. Never mind the acne on the fucking face. The fucking, the shit. ¿Cómo se llama? What's the dude's name? Tony Plana. Tony Plana's not really dark, but I mean, pasa.
Edward James Olmos.
Edward James Olmos, another guy. Dude, all three of them have like acne scars. Edward James Olmos, George Lopez, and fucking Machete. I keep forgetting.
They want that Mexican rugged look.
Yeah. Like seriously, the only one that, I mean, decent looking guy is Mario Lopez.
Yeah.
Mario Lopez is not very tall, but he's got the dark hair. I mean,
It's kind of like they wanted the Mexicans that they saw, on spaghetti westerns. That's the kind of Mexicans we want.
Exactly. And
then
those guys weren't even and those guys weren't even Mexican. They were fucking Italian.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. It's like they want the Mexicans they saw on their last trip to Cancun.
Exactly. The guy the one that greeted them, ¿Con algo les puedo ayudar, señores? Like fucking that guy. That's what they want.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but there's another component to that thing. No,
but so going back to what you said about that guy Tenoch, I'm sure he probably gets that discrimination, bro. I mean, I know you might not agree with it.
I get it.
And maybe he complains too much. I think fucking I've done my share too. I've been like, fuck, dude, I fired my agent. I fired my agent. Motherfucker. I fired my hey, but I'm the kind of person that I'm not gonna stay quiet, bro. That's why sometimes I feel like this business is not for me. Sometimes I feel like this business is not for me because I'm not the kind of guy that's gonna be like, oh fuck it, I don't want to cost my opportunity in the future. Fuck them.
Tell me about it.
You're not gonna define my life. I'm gonna find a way to fucking do what I want to do, regardless of who fucking wants to jump on this ship. And later on, they're gonna want to jump on it.
Yeah, no, that's how it goes.
That's what it should be.
That's how it goes.
No, go.
You know what I'm saying? It's like they might not fuck with you right now, dog, but eventually you get your time to shine, and then everybody wants to fuck with you.
Yeah, that's how Hollywood is. An agent doesn't want you until they know you're profitable.
Yeah,
they don't want to build you up. They don't want to build you up. They could change your life if they wanted to. They could change your life, bro. They could push you. They could look at Amy Schumer. They threw her on Comedy Central and they pushed her ass. They shoved her ass down our throat until they made her fucking famous. Like straight up.
Yeah,
straight up.
I've always
but she's white.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
What I'm saying is that I understand that because we've seen it here, Carlos and we've seen it with a lot of guys. That, like, for example, Carlos has been in two movies where he had, like, was it two movies, Carlos, or just one? Just the one with Godinez? Like, in two movies. And his parts were like 2-sentence parts, like very small parts. But when you see it, and then you see the fucking shitty acting of all the other guys. You just say to yourself, like, maybe this guy could have done a better job. And that's the thing. The thing is that when you sell something, and I don't like to like the American public is different. It's the same fucking thing. Like they want their fucking formula, and if you go a little bit out of that formula, they will say, "No, I don't like it. I just want that, like the cute guy with the curly hair and the clear eyes, and I just want that." And people are working to produce that and give that to the people. Like if you see the
Yeah.
last 5 Mexican movies, is the same fucking formula, and now they're copying and buying the rights of Adam Sandler's movies and just fucking rehashing it here in Mexico. And then,
Really?
and you look at it and you say, what the fuck? I mean, there's a lot of brilliant writers here in Mexico, writers that I know of, like a lot of guys we know write beautifully. And they could write a script for a movie that would be perfect. But these fucking guys are just, it's like novelas with a higher
Yeah, it's
budget.
kind of like a new telenovelas, you know. It's like a new wave of Mexican cinema that's just that romantic comedies and the two
Yeah.
main white characters that meet, and there's always a fucking wedding at the end. It's a telenovela, summed up telenovela. That's what it is, man. And
Yeah, that's what
we
it
just
But isn't that how novelas end? Siempre hay
Yeah.
boda. Like at the end of a novela, hay
Sí.
boda. Se casan.
al
Because everybody,
final,
everybody wants to see
yeah.
that happy ending.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Like everybody died, but they got fucking together and they got married. Like what the
Yeah,
fuck,
yeah.
dude? How does that happen and shit? They survived corona. Everybody in their family died from coronavirus, but they fucking made it, and they're gonna get married. You know? Like,
2 guys got mutilated, one got kidnapped, but thankfully we got to the altar. That's
so
that's
so
the,
let me. Here's a question for you guys. Here's something because you know like we're talking about how Mexican people are portrayed in Mexico and fucking here in the United States. If you were asked, and I'll start with you, Talavera. That way we'll go around. If you were asked to define what a Mexican is, how would you define it? How would you define Mexican?
oh shit. I, I I'm gonna say 2 things. First of all, there was a big change here in Mexico like 25 years ago. We love to throw shit at the government, but there was a huge civil movement here in Mexico, like directed to 2 main conducts or ways of being Mexican, which was don't don't leave things for later and work for what you want. And it really stuck, and it really stuck with the public. And I could say that a Mexican or the Mexican people thrived in spite of government, not because of government, in spite of government. We were becoming a better people. And it's very hard to define because it's basically like someone you would know over there, a successful guy over there in the United States, a guy who wants to pay his bills, want to be responsible, want to be successful, want to grow. I think that's most Mexicans I know are that kind of Mexican. And it's really hard to get off the stereotype of being lazy and being like wanting to cut corners and that kind of thing. But I really think that it's not defined because it's not known, because we are still selling to the international press and movies and comedy, el huevón, el borracho, the guy who doesn't give a fuck, that kind of thing. That's
The
what
guy
we're
asleep
selling.
under the
So,
cactus. The guy asleep under the cactus with the sombrero.
yeah, we're still.
Where the
we're
fuck
still
did
selling
that come from, dude? What the fuck?
I don't know. I don't. I like. It's very frustrating because when I'm not offended by any of it. Like I understand where it comes from, and I understand that sells tickets. But if you were to define a Mexican, it's very gray. It's very unsavory. It's not something exciting. The only thing we have exciting is that we scream a lot. But other than that, we are like pretty much a citizen of the fucking 21st century, which is a guy who just wants to get by. Like, I think that's the same thing in China, Japan, the United States, Canada. It's mostly the same. It's on the fringes where you find like the definitions that people can understand. Like the gringo who is always, yeah, America, America, and the black guy who raps, and the Argentinian who tries to fuck your girl, and the Mexican who's trying to do a job for less than what he has to pay for, and that kind of thing. I think that a true Mexican, is pretty much like a fucking gringo, but with pesos instead of dollars. I think that's what I see here.
You, Carlos, do you have a definite, like if somebody asks you, you have a definition, like?
I think Mexicans, I think we try to be at peace with whatever it is that we have. Maybe Americans, they picture us as, lazy people because maybe they met some lazy Mexicans, because there are lazy Mexicans.
But you know what? Let me interrupt you real quick.
Yeah.
I don't think Americans see like that's a stereotype. But when you talk to people like contractors, fuck, dude. The first thing they tell you, dude, I hire Mexicans because they work the hardest. They're here on time. Like, yeah. I don't know where that comes up that we're lazy. I don't know where the fuck you're hearing that's what they think over here, because that's not a majority opinion. I'm just letting you know. It's not a majority opinion.
No, I'm just saying that.
Yeah. That's what you've heard.
There's like a common conception of Mexicans being that way, because like I said, I think Mexicans are people that try to be at peace with whatever it is they have. So when we want to be lazy, I mean, I'm the laziest motherfucker whenever I want to be lazy,
Me too.
And whenever I have to work, I get to work.
Yeah.
And, when I have to do something, I do it and I enjoy it to the fullest. If I have to be just lazy, just sitting on my ass all day and watching TV, that's what I'm going to do. Because this is the time for me to be lazy. When it's time for me to work, then I get to work, as hard as I fucking can. So we try to be at peace with whatever it is that we have. And while I do think that we should strive for a better life and a better livelihood for our families, if we don't get that, we do not frustrate over the fact that we cannot be that which my neighbor is. I'm just at peace with this. My family's fine. I'm having a beer, watching TV. My kids are playing, right next to me. Life is good, man, and I'm gonna make the best out of this.
By the way, nice view, man. Where are you, in Guadalajara? That's a nice view in the back. I can see the fucking city.
Yeah.
I can see the tortas ahogadas over there in the corner.
Yeah.
How about you, Citric?
You got me thinking about the tortas ahogadas now, Doug. Or are you gonna order one?
I'm not a big fan, to be honest with you. I'm not a big fan of them, by the way.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Me neither.
But what do you think, Citric? I mean, how would you define? I mean, or maybe put it this way, because they define Mexico. How about a Chicano, a Mexican American? How would you define us? A pocho.
I just feel that Chicanos and Mexicans, I think it's the same thing, though. You know what I'm saying? Like I was there because we're over in California, but I just feel like regardless of anything, if your parents are from Mexico, you got Mexican blood, you're just Mexican, And I feel that Mexicans are hardworking people, that we're hardworking people, and we get the stereotype because of the media and all the comedy that goes with it. But dude, I you know what I'm saying? Like Carlos was saying, he's like, there's a time to be lazy and there's a time to get to work and get shit done. You know what I'm saying? But I think at the end of the day, as Mexicans, man, we're just people that are trying our hardest to survive in this world, man. And we're all about family, and that just goes for Latinos in general, man. I feel like we're just about family, and we want our family to be good. And so, you know what I'm saying? So we're out there hustling and doing what we got to do to make sure our families are good, man.
Yeah. Now I'm going to say this. Here's one thing. I think that the Mexican person that comes to the United States is not fucking lazy. Because I don't know one person who came over here legally or illegally that came over here just to fucking sit on their ass. Really? I don't. Huh? You know somebody?
I know one dude, but I'm not going to say his name.
They came illegally?
Yeah, Doug.
And he don't do shit?
You don't want to do shit, Doug.
Oh, what the fuck? No, I never met one, dude. Honestly, I'm like, because that fucking that coyote bill is expensive, bro. Like that's fucking that's expensive. That's like $8,000 or $6,000 you got to pay back if somebody paid for you to cross.
So all that coyote money from like 5 years ago, Doug.
Oh my God, what the fuck? It's funny. I've never met a lazy person. Like seriously, every Mexican person that I met came over here to work their ass off. Like I look at somebody like my mom, who and it's fucked up to say because I'm born here, and at my age, she accomplished so much more than I did. Like honestly, bro. Like, and she came here as an immigrant. At 14 years old, she moved over here. She still speaks Spanish with a fucking accent, like a really hard accent. But you can understand her. And well, it's funny because Talavera and Ballarta speak better English than my mom does, and she's been here for 40 years, bro. Or whatever, how many years she's been here. She's been here for a shit long.
Yeah, but
what's up?
yeah, but she didn't need to learn like complex structures of language. I mean, if you go over there at 14, you're probably gonna be like doing dishes and sweeping and I don't know, that kind of physical labor that doesn't require a lot of like. Where's your report on the last 1,500 dishes? Like, it's not gonna happen. It's not necessary, and that's when I understand like hard work is not only about the number of hours that you put in. It's why are you putting in those hours. Like if you have a bill for a coyote to pay, you have to work. I mean, it's not a
You
fucking
better work,
option.
you better work,
You better
motherfucker.
fucking work, because bitch, you better have my money. I mean, it's not an option. It's not even something like that noble. I mean, I don't mean to shit on your mom or anything. It's not like that.
Dude,
What I
my
mean
mom, no,
is,
my mom, but my mom didn't come. My parents didn't. My grandfather was a bracero, so both my
yeah,
grandfathers were braceros. So both sides of my
like there's
family,
there's no choice.
yeah, they came.
Like
They
there's
came to
no
work,
choice.
bro. I mean, they came to work the fields. So I
Yeah,
mean,
you wake up 5 o'clock in the morning or maybe 4 in the morning. You go to the fields. You do your thing. You get your pay. You get something to eat, and that's it. That's pretty much it. Like there's no room for dreams, and that's because the dream is what you're doing, and the dream is a fucking nightmare. But
Carlos, you're
your
muted. Carlos, by
sons
the
and your
way,
daughters.
were you saying something?
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, I have a theory about where that stereotype of Mexicans being lazy might come from.
Okay.
I think that it's like the immediate thing that we think of when we live in a capitalist system that makes us think that poor people don't really work that hard. Because the same thing happens here in Mexico when Central Americans come, because there's a lot of immigrants from Central America and Mexico, and like the general view of them, yeah, because they're trying to make their way across their country into the U.S. And some of them, are in in the southern states, and Mexican people usually depict them as that, lazy people that just want everything for free, and they're just coming here to steal and rob, and the same things, like bigoted things that are being said in the U.S. about Mexicans, Mexican people say about Central Americans, because we think that because they don't have anything, it's because they're not working hard. And they are working hard, but it's a fucking system that a lot of times does not let them have a stable livelihood, I think.
Damn.
Yeah, it's not as easy as if you go if you go to the United States, like you said, people are looking to hire Mexicans for many reasons. First of all, they're cheap, handiwork.
Well, the
First of all,
Central
they're cheap.
Americans are
Second,
Central Americans.
no. Americans like to hire Latinos and Mexicans because they know they work hard.
As
And they
long
work
as
hard
as long as you don't tell me Central Americans stand out in front of Home Depot in Mexico and shit, like what the fuck?
No, that's the thing. That's the thing. Like here in Mexico, it's very hard to find work. Like for anyone. I mean, let alone some immigrant coming from Guatemala. It's very hard for anyone. Like hiring something is for people who have a lot of money. Like if you want to hire someone to clean your garden, that's millionaire shit here. Like if you have a garden, you fucking cut your own grass. You don't hire someone unless you have a lot of money. So there's not a lot of like in the United States where I need some roofing. What? Like here in Mexico, we fucking there's a drip. Okay, now it's time to fix the ceiling. But
Yeah, we got to
there's
do our
but
shit.
there's no prevention. Yeah, it's like okay, I'm getting my head wet in my bed. It's time to call someone. And maybe if that guy tells me how to do it, I will do it. So it's very different. We don't have a place for them, but not because we're racist, but because we barely have enough for us. I mean, that's what I think.
Well,
It's going on.
that is something that I've heard before. Is like they think you're lazy because you don't have ambition to be better, like to better yourself, motherfucker. How do I have ambition to better myself when I just cut grass for fucking 10 hours today and shit in the hot ass sun? You didn't even offer me a glass of water, motherfucker. How the fuck am I gonna have? How the fuck am I supposed to go to school after that? I'm fucking tired, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you know what's funny? Is a big misconception because a girl I used to date back in the day, her dad was a landscaper. He owned his own landscaping business, bro. He used to make like 20 G's a month as a landscaper, bro. So that person you see mowing lawns is not fucking broke. I mean, maybe his little assistants are, like he just breaks them off. But the guy that owns that business, like sometimes you see these Mexican men and the little, camionetita and shit, and they got their fucking, their fucking gas cutting machine, their lawnmowers in the back and all that stuff. And you think like, pobre señor, shit, pobre my ass. Motherfucker has more money than me and you put together. Like, that motherfucker's making $20,000 a month. Shit, you know what I mean? Granted, they do work. I mean, they do work, and the man used to be available 24/7. Like he said, that's my thing. He goes, anybody, because sometimes I guess people's sprinklers would break in the middle of the night or some shit. Dude, he would go and fix that shit, but that was fucking rare. But dude, that guy put all his kids through college, got them all brand new cars when they were out of high school. Like he wasn't, and dude, the man could barely read or write, bro. Like when he came to this country, he was like practically illiterate. He could sign his name and that's about it. Like that's some crazy, but that goes to show you that Mexican people are not fucking lazy, dude. It's just opportunity. Like I think the thing that we could go back to that in Mexico, that a lot of ambition is killed at an early age because a lot of kids that don't grow up with much think, well, the only way I'm gonna make it is if I become a fucking narco. That's it. And that's the only way I'm gonna make it in this world because my parents don't have money to send me to school. You know what I'm saying? My Nino has no money to send me to school, or my Nino's a fucking narco. He could send me to school, but but he's offering me work with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, and when you're a little kid, it's true, dude. Deseas mucho. Like you really, like everything you see, you want as a little kid, and you wonder why the fuck don't we have it? I'll tell you, when I was a little kid, I didn't know we were fucking poor. I didn't know we were poor. I thought every kid lived like me. And then when I got older, I was like, God damn, we're fucking poor, bro. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I had more than other kids, but we were poor. Like, I had, my mom always made sure que no me faltaba, I had clothes. There was kids who didn't get new clothes. I would get at least, a new pair of clothes, whatever, here and there. But we were fucking poor. We were not loaded. I mean, I don't know how you grew up. Where'd you grow up, Citric?
Boyle Heights, East LA.
In Boyle Heights, East LA? I mean,
same shit, dog. I didn't, you know what I'm saying? Like we lived in for years, dog. Where I wasn't born in the house, but I was born in Boyle Heights. But in the house we grew up in, it was a garage converted into a one bedroom,
Yeah.
So the rent was cheap, so my mom posted up there. She made it happen. But over the years, I mean, I really didn't think nothing because most of the kids in the neighborhood we all did the same activities outdoors. Maybe got a little cheap skateboard and so we didn't know much until as I got older and started getting able to go out on my own, like get out of East LA and shit. then you start noticing shit like, damn, man, you know, you go out to the valley, like fucking Woodland Hills and, you know, San Fernando Valley out there, you know, and you start looking at it like, God damn, man, it's fucking some big ass crypts over here. You know?
Yeah, well, what the fuck is Cheerios? I know I know toasted oats, but I don't know fucking Cheerios. Like you, cereal comes in a box. Fuck, all the cereal we got was in a bag, dog. What the fuck is that? Like serious shit.
You know what the thing is? The thing is that since you're a little kid, if you live in a Mexican household and you're not rich, it's the same all over the world. Like it doesn't matter where you live. If you're not rich, it's the same thing. I remember this phrase from my father and my father eventually become very successful, but most of my life, like from 0 to 25 maybe, it was like, yeah, en la quincena vemos, yeah. And that fucking quincena never got around, never
like,
came
hey, that shit went to the strip joint, bro. That shit went to the strip.
No, not even that. Because, you know, I have this theory. These guys who throw money around a lot, they do well eventually in life. Yeah. Like it's about the burden you choose. If you need a lot of women, booze, and fucking parties to be okay with yourself, you will find the money to do it. Like I rack my brains thinking about like a lot of my friends like from ages ago. Like the weekend came and I had to ask my dad for money. Like I need 500 pesos or 200 pesos or whatever. And the other guys who used to get like shit-faced and fucking disaster on the weekend, they always had money. And none of us were like millionaires or rich or whatever. And it's like, if you have like those goals, it's better to be an alcoholic, like to some point. Like you need to get money for that. And I think that when you're growing up, there's this very pervasive culture here in Mexico that if you want to stick your head out, they will put you down. I mean, from your household, in your household, they will tell you, like, no, that's not, no, why are you doing this? You know it's not possible. Like that, like not, and it's not always so direct, but you find it everywhere. Like in school, if you want to stand out, maybe not in grades, but something else, people will tell you, who do you think you are?
Oh, yeah.
Do you think you're better than everybody else? Why do you think you deserve this? And I think it's a cultural thing.
Hey, this motherfucker had Mana play at his prom, bro. What the fuck?
But it wasn't my fault. It's not like I hired them. It was like some guys from
Sombrero Verde. It was Sombrero Verde.
No. It was Mana.
They were Mana already? They were Mana? They were called Mana already?
They were Mana.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
It was like El Vampiro era famoso. And the drummer was like the big thing here in Mexico.
That's fucking, oh, yeah.
Best. It's like one of those things, like he's the best drummer in the world. And
Alex, like, right?
Yeah. And how do you grade that? Like, oh, he did it really fast. Good.
Yeah.
Like
Mana is like a great thing, you know. Fer de Mana is the closest thing we have to Eddie Vedder here in Mexico.
I always thought Fer was like a Sting. Like I always compared him to Sting from the Police.
Oh,
like Bono too.
From the Police?
Huh?
Talking about from the group, the Police? Or?
Yeah. I think like I always compared Mana to the Police.
Well, they, you know, in the interview a long time ago, I remember they were talking about that the Police was one of their biggest influences.
Oh, no shit?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. See,
I always thought the same thing. I go like, damn, they remind me like a Spanish version of the Police.
Yeah.
And then I saw an interview one time, and they were talking about that was a big influence on their career. Right?
So everybody, hey, who was an influence on yours, Citric? Who like the hip hop guys that you looked up to? Like who made you want to do hip hop?
I want to say like NWA, you know, that Too
No
Short.
shit. No shit.
Yeah, those guys at that time, you know, that's all really.
That's a high bar.
You know, there was MC Hammer, but not really. Nobody was really trying to be like MC Hammer at the time. You know, they were like the cool guys. You know, like Too Short and NWA. You know, Ice-T. everybody was following those guys.
Here's a question for you, babe, because you don't have that sound. Why do a lot of Chicano hip hop artists sound mad, bro?
I don't know, man.
Like they're angry in every fucking song.
I
Tú
just feel
sabes,
like-
yo te dije desde chiquito, yo te necesitaba dinero. And I'm like, what the? Calm down, bro. Everything's gonna be all right. Eat your bag of cereal.
You know what? I think what it is that because everybody is trying to stand out one way or another, they're trying to get the point across, and they feel like it's an attitude thing. Like the more attitude you give, the more people are gonna listen to you. But I feel at the end of the day, if you do you and you say what's from your heart, what's coming out, that's when I feel like the people that really gravitate towards you.
Yeah, because I feel like more Chicano hip hop artists sound more like DMX than Snoop Dogg. Like you know what I'm saying? Like Snoop Dogg has a little. You remember that group Mexiclan?
Mexiclan, yeah.
And they had that one guy. He kind of sounded like Snoop. Yeah, they had that one guy that was kind of smooth. I kind of liked him and shit. Like he didn't sound that way. Man, you don't sound that way. Like you have your own little style. Like but I think you're more like of a. I don't know. Like to me, you're more of a party dude.
Yeah.
Like,
kind of like bring like good vibes to the situation. Like I'm not trying to preach and I'm not trying to do. Once in a while we do throw in little shit in there just to kind of throw it in there. But at the same time, it's like I feel like if I'm gonna do some music, it's like I want it to be like some feel good shit. Where you can just kick back, chill. If you want to dance, you can dance because a lot of times we do cumbias too.
That's West Coast. That's West Coast style there. The West Coast. The West Coast started all that shit, like the dancing and the dancing type of hip hop. I mean, you not the NWA guys, of course.
See, when we started, we were doing shit like that, dog, like NWA style, like Too Short, like all our lyrics were nothing but mamadas and shit. We were just talking about crazy gangster shit, street shit. Talking about sounding crack, sounding pussy, sounding, So, what I'm saying? But then after a while, we just started kind of evolving and going into a different direction,
Hey, I'm too old for this shit.
Yeah, like I go, I'm not even out on the street selling ass,
Hey, you come back to the studio and you say, hey, man, my mom didn't like that last album, bro. We got to change shit up.
Yeah.
My mom was pissed, bro. She didn't even invite me for Easter.
Everybody was disappointed.
Que como que culos y panochas y vergas, cabrón. Yo no te enseñé eso. Con tu chingada madre.
But no, that's what my jefa told me one time.
Nah, did she?
Me dice Tony, that's all my childhood people, they call me Tony.
Yeah.
No, Tony, yo no te enseñé esas cosas. ¿Qué groserías son esas?
Dude, it's funny because my mom fucking swears worse than a sailor. And then she says she didn't teach me that shit. Like she's a typical, because my mom's from Sinaloa, and Sinaloa women are loud and fucking vulgar, like for the most part. And that's how my mom, no, tú y tus amigos me pelan la verga, she told me once. I was like, God damn. I'm like, not only do you have a dick, I said, not only do you have a cock, but it's not circumcised.
And it's a very small one, Mom.
Me la pelan. No, a mí me vale verga. Dude, that's how my mom talks. So, and then, of course, yo no te enseñé eso.
Yeah, but it's funny. It's funny because I don't know what's the mental process there. Like you're going out, but not. It's like they think you're their agent. Like you're going in representation of me, okay?
Yeah.
So first of all, tell people I didn't teach you that. Like why? Like what are they gonna think? Like, oh my God, that's a good rapper. Very bad mom. Very bad.
And my mom, bless her heart, dude, is the kind of person that if I write a bit, like if I make up a bit where I say that I had a gay experience, ¿por qué dices eso? Eso no es cierto. Van a pensar que eres joto. Like she really takes it like literal. Like she takes it literal. You know what I mean? Like literal. Like or if I say, I kissed him on the lips, like just so I could get out of there. ¿Para qué dices esas cosas? Eso van a pensar que eres maricón y eso. No. Like so fucking my mom is like she's got that naiveness to her. Well, she's from a rancho, dude. My mom, she's not, she's not from the city. She's, everything. People from the rancho
Here.
are very, like, there's a funny thing about people from the rancho. Son muy pícaros. They're very pícaros, but they're very fucking reserved about it. They won't admit it. They're very shy about it. Huh?
Oh yeah.
They're very conservative, pero con picardía.
Yeah. No, they love that shit. They love that shit.
Yeah.
But then you get like that viejita that she's already older. La verga, like that, shit like fucking, because we had a tia that was like that, dude, all the time. Fuck, dude. How about you? What kind of music? You don't listen to hip hop, do you, Ballarta?
Yeah, I do. I mean, sometimes, yeah.
Who's your favorite artist in hip hop?
I'd say NWA. I mean, I'm not like.
Are you NWA for real?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, like the hip hop from the '90s.
Yeah, hip hop from the '90s. I'm like, I love Nas.
Oh, the best shit. The 90s.
I'm a big Nas fan. I like Nas. Well, of course, Tupac, Biggie, but Nas and fucking. I wasn't a Snoop. I'm a huge fucking Snoop fan, man. That guy, Jesus Christ, that guy. He just made a fucking song with La Banda MS, bro, and fucking say,
God
damn.
We were like Carlos and I were on a what was it, like a podcast or something like that, like Chaparro did a Zoom session to talk about that very thing, the MS with Snoop Dogg, and what do we think about it? And it's like, look, he's making millions, those other guys are millionaires too, who gives a fuck? Like, I don't know.
Like, what are we gonna do? Shit on the song? What are you gonna say? That fucking song sucks, and it's fucking #1 in the top 10. How do you say that? How do you say that? So like, it's like somebody saying Dave Chappelle sucks. He fucking. You think Chappelle gives a fuck that you think he sucks? Like he sells out everywhere he fucking goes, dude. Like that motherfucker could stop doing comedy for 10 years. Say I'm gonna fucking do a show at the park, and there'd be fucking 500,000 people there to fucking watch the show and shit.
Yeah, that's real shit.
Like I wonder what he's gonna say today. Like Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy hasn't done stand up in forever, dude. And they keep saying has he done it yet? Because they keep saying he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it, and motherfuckers are just waiting for Eddie Murphy to do stand up.
Yeah.
They want to see him. They want to see if he's still got. I'm sure he's still got it. He's a funny motherfucker, man. That was my dude in the '80s. Was Eddie Murphy? Like fucking out. I mean, Red Fox is my influence. Love fucking Red Fox, but like Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, because that's when I was a little kid watching all the Beverly Hills Cop movies, Delirious, Raw, fucking 48 Hours movies, all those. Coming to America, bro. Coming to America, when that shit came out, oh my god, I watch that shit every day.
Did you ever like the Cosby shit?
Never watched
the
material. I like it, but Bill Cosby's material.
Yeah.
Like from when? From like Bill Cosby's a beast, bro.
When he was doing it, like when he was truly doing stand up.
He was a beast, bro.
Because there's a lot of people that look up to him, but like this kind of that's the standard that I should like to tell that I have like this role model, like people like to drop names. Like
I don't know about him being a role model.
Oh, no, not right now.
Not right now.
Maybe if you're a dentist, the fingering dentist. No, but what I'm saying is that a lot of people drop the name Cosby just because it sounds like it's something classic. Like, who are your influences? Oh, of course, Cosby and Lenny Bruce and Bill Hicks, and they've never heard any of it. Like, did you ever really like it? I mean, would you listen
Bill
Cosby over Bill Hicks?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Right?
That's a tough one, dude. Shit. I like Bill Hicks. I'm not like a huge fan of Bill Hicks. But I like his work. I like what he was doing, which was provoking, which, satire, a lot of satire, using satire and I like his story. The fact that he went to England to fucking blow up so that he could come back to America where he's from. Ain't that some shit?
Sometimes you have to do.
Yeah, but Bill Cosby's storytelling, man. Fuck, it's like almost unparalleled. Maybe Chappelle, dude, is on and Richard Pryor. I mean, the way they would tell the stories and shit. But fucking, I mean, Bill Cosby, man, he would do it. He did it without cussing.
Yeah.
You know, without swearing. I mean, you didn't know he was fucking drugging women after the show. you know, like my mom says, el diablo nunca duerme. You know, like,
it's always who you least expect, right?
Yeah, right? I mean, come on, Ballarta, this motherfucker doesn't cuss in his comedy. Yeah, but he rapes chicks. Like,
he's got to be raping people, you know? He's hiding something.
Like,
all the raping aside, he was really good.
Like Cat Williams cusses a lot, but he doesn't rape and does crack, but he don't fucking rape nobody. You know, and Cat Williams is another motherfucker that, like, I mean, there was a time, like, what, 10 years ago when Cat Williams, like, is a fucking beast, bro.
He's a talented dude, man.
Fucking beast.
Yeah, but it's like.
But I don't know. I
like,
wasn't a Bill. Look, I'll put it this way. Before I did comedy, I didn't know who the fuck Bill Hicks was. Straight up.
That's the thing. That, like, for example, like, Bill Hicks is something you know once you heard like 2 or 3 or 4 comedians, even more, maybe even more, because you have to go through. Maybe if you're like, if you're not into the old school, maybe you started listening to, I don't know, Frank Caliendo, and because they were very noisy, and you listen to them everywhere, like Fluffy, maybe Dane Cook, maybe even Louis C.K., which I know is the Dave Chappelle. Like,
I couldn't tell you.
Those.
I couldn't tell you one Dane Cook bit, bro. I'll be honest with you. I couldn't tell you one Dane Cook bit. I couldn't even name it. I couldn't.
No, what I mean is that on average, you would find it easier to bump into those comics, like on your playlist or whatever. Yeah. I mean, it's not so often that you find, not even this guy. What's his name? The one that Jim Carrey did his movie.
Andy Kaufman. Andy Kaufman.
Yeah, Andy Kaufman. If you wanted to know, like, if that even Andy Kaufman existed before you're doing comedy, you wouldn't find it. I mean, it's not. I
haven't watched it. I don't know shit about India. I watched the show Taxi. I know he was Latka. I mean, I love Taxi. Taxi was bomb, dude.
It was funny.
Yeah.
He was funny. That show was funny as fuck. But Christopher Lloyd was funny on the doc from fucking Back to the Future, bro. He was funny as fuck. That was good. Tony Danza. I used to watch it for Elaine. Fucking hell. What was it? She was hot, bro. She was fucking fine. Little redhead on there. Shit. But I mean, but there's a lot of comedians. Like, I mean, look, before I did comedy, I'll tell you the comedians I listened to. I was a huge Andrew Dice Clay fan. So much so in high school that was my nickname in high school, Dice. They would say, "Hey, Dice." They would call me that because I would repeat his fucking material, like, "Oh, suck it, dude." Funny story. So this fucking chick, she was like one of the hottest chicks in school, had a crush on me, but I didn't know she liked me. I thought she was out of my league. Like, so I would do Andrew Dice Clay jokes in front of her. And she told my friend, "You know, I really like your friend. He's cute, but he's got a dirty mouth. I could never go out with somebody like that." But the only reason I was saying those jokes in front of her was because I thought I had no chance. Like, you know, like I thought she'll never fucking go out with me. And my friend told me this.
So I might as well make her hate me.
Yeah. And my friend, who's supposed to be my friend, should have been he knew she liked me. He should have told me, "Hey, dude, you better stop talking like that. She thinks you're fucking disgusting." You're like, you know, I'm over here talking about little boy Blue. He needed the money. Oh, you know, like fucking like shit like that.
Maybe grabbing your dick in front of her is not the best technique.
What was it? There was an old lady who lived in a shoe. She had so many kids, she didn't know what to do. So she started giving head. That fucking worked. And then she'd be right there fucking listening. And she'd be like, "Oh." You know, sucking my dick. Oh, you know, like shit like that.
Oh.
But yeah, so my friends, so at lunch, that's what I would do. I would tell my friends Eddie Murphy jokes. I would tell them Richard Pryor jokes, George Carlin jokes, because I love George Carlin. That's what those were the comedians
that was
I
the
knew.
gateway for me. That was the gateway for me. For me, it was George Carlin. Like I started, you know how I started listening to him? Like, do you remember LimeWire?
Yeah, LimeWire. Yeah, yeah.
LimeWire. Like one day I just bumped into him because I started listening to comedy when I was very young, like 11. But I didn't know the names. I didn't know which comedian was which, nothing. And then one day when internet really kicked in, I started looking for comedy, like stand-up comedy, like everywhere. And then he caught me with this bit about how a religious person is the master of bullshit. Like you have to stand in awe with the all-time champion of what is it like the bit about religion, and he
Oh,
just
is
caught
it the
me.
one where he
And
says there's a guy and he has rules, and if you break them, he'll send you to hell, and then, but
yeah,
he loves
he
you.
has 10. Yeah, he says he has 10 things he does not want you to do, and if you do any of those things, he has a place where you burn and suffer and scream forever and ever and ever.
To the end of
But
the
he
eternity.
loves you.
But he loves you.
And that for me was like, oh my god, who's this god? And I just downloaded like everything I could find about him. And
Oh shit.
that was my true gateway to comedy, I guess.
Dude, fucking Andrew Dice Clay, I didn't go to my prom my senior year because I want to go see him live in concert at the Greek Theater,
shit.
man. And fucking I remember Ronnie Dangerfield came out before him and did like a quick little 10 minutes. So I got to see Rodney Dangerfield live. Like I was like,
Shit.
fuck yeah. You know, like he told his little fucking joke. I love Rodney, dude. Rodney's one of my favorite, like one-liner guys. Like, you know, fucking I told the guy to surprise me. He showed me a naked picture of my wife. Like stupid shit like that.
It's like the guy. Do you remember in Casino? No, Goodfellas.
Oh
There's
yeah.
this scene where it's Ray Liotta and Joe Pesci and some girl.
Yeah, Henny Youngman.
And
he's a real comic.
Henny Youngman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's a real comic.
It's the same
Take
style.
my wife, please. Take my wife everywhere. That was his thing. Take my wife, please. Yeah, that was his catch line. How about you, Carlos? Who was your dude, man?
I didn't. I was a stand-up comedy fan before I started doing stand-up, and when I got into this, you know, a lot of the comedians told me about some of the comedians that I should watch, and I'm a huge fan of Stephen Wright. He's like my main dude, and Dave Chappelle. Both of them is like I want to become like a combination of them both. I mean, this is just some stupid shit, but like try to find the similarities between them both, because I really find a lot of similarities between them that I don't know how to explain, but it's like I want to be that.
Hey, don't explain it. Keep it to yourself. You don't want no other motherfucker stealing that shit. Don't be explaining
it. It's okay. No one will do.
Don't be explaining it. Don't be explaining it, because then next week there's another dude like doing the same shit. Like you're like, what the fuck? Es que vi a Ballarta en un podcast. No, dude, but
gave me an idea.
Stephen Wright. Oh, his famous joke that I love is the one of the abortion pill.
Which one is it?
He says, I had a dream, and I had a dream where all the children who were affected by the abortion pill came to me. I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember exactly how it goes.
Yeah.
He goes, they're pissed.
they came back to Hannes. They came back to Hannes.
That was his punchline. They're pissed.
There's this one about his brain sending a fax to his memory or some convoluted, very fucking deep shit. Like I listen to Stephen Wright and I say, oh my God, I'm a fucking monkey. I'm not, I just come out on stage and I fucking scream shit. If I could, I threw my shit at people. And this guy
two of my favorite jokes. Two of my favorite jokes are that I bought some powdered water, but I don't know what to add. That's like a really funny one. And he's got another one that says that I went to a drive-in in a cab. The movie cost me $99. I guess that's what he says.
Oh, fuck. That's
He's got
fucking
very nice jokes,
dude. And it's you know, every time you hear like those one-liner comics, you go, Jesus Christ, it's so fucking simple, but it's so fucking creative. You're like, fuck.
Yeah.
It makes me mad when I listen to motherfuckers like that, bro. And I swear, I'm like, fuck.
It's like this fucking, like this anger that comes from your retarded self.
Yeah.
Like when you, like in The Hills Have Eyes, like the big guy, when people told him, no, you can do that, he was like, that's how I feel inside when I listen to Mitch Hedberg, when I listen to Stephen Wright, when I listen to those guys, they say, you motherfucker, how can you come up with that shit? Like the simplest that I've heard from, and it's brilliant, from Mitch Hedberg is the one about the Flyers.
Which
the one he says, when he says, he said, when somebody hands you a flyer, what he's really telling you is, can you throw this into the trash, please? It's like, oh my God, I'm not working on that.
It's true because like when you make people hand out flyers, they don't want to do that shit. They don't want to do that shit. They're just getting paid to do it, and they don't give a fuck what you do with the fucking flyer or whatever the fuck. Here you go. I just need to get rid of these I just need to get rid of these fucking 10,000 flyers that these motherfuckers gave me and shit. I gotta hand them out and stuff.
Do you need to paper your living room or something like that? Because I have a lot of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
fucking
the one about the stairs. The one about the stairs, like escalators never break down; they just become stairs.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
That was fucking funny.
Sorry for the convenience. He said.
There was a guy I met in England. This fucking god damn it, what's his name? Stuart Francis. I want to say he's Canadian, and he does one-liners. That motherfucker's funny too, man. His what was one of his jokes? His joke, the one like he goes, my dad took me fishing once, and I remember swimming back to shore, going, God, I hate fishing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then he throws that in. He says, so for Halloween, there was a Halloween dance at school, and my dad gave my date and I, he gave us a ride. I remember swimming back to shore thinking, damn, this Halloween outfit is heavy. like he just keeps throwing the joke into every fucking joke. But he does it like every 5 minutes. He just throws that joke in there. You don't expect it. It's like, oh, he got me again, motherfucker.
Yeah, I remember you told me about that one time when you were in Mexico City, and I looked it up, and it was really funny.
Yeah, he's a funny dude. That guy. Ese Canadá way. Fuck, how about you, Citric? Who's the comedians you like growing up and shit?
Man, I gotta say the same thing with Red Fox, man, because I was a big fan for them.
Dude, I know every fucking episode. Yeah. I know them by heart.
I watched that show religiously, man, and then of course Eddie Murphy, you know, and man, Rodney Dangerfield, you know, I used to watch him sometimes on the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, and man, you're always fucking hilarious. All his movies were always fucking funny, you know.
Back to school. Back to School. You ever see Back to School? You guys ever see Back to School?
Yeah.
Rodney Dangerfield? Huh?
No, I didn't.
Oh, you gotta watch that.
Oh, yeah. Where he goes back to college, right?
Yeah, because his son's in college. And he goes, man, his son goes, he's looking at the football team and he goes, man, those guys are tough. And then Rodney Dangerfield's like, tough? Those guys aren't tough. Back in my day, after they sacked the quarterback, they went after his family in the stands. That's tough. That's tough. Dude, as a kid, I didn't know who Polo Polo was. I mean, until 2003. I mean, I was doing comedy, but like my wife's uncle said, hey, you ever hear Polo Polo? I go, I've heard, because I had heard the name, but like I go, but I never heard him. And I listened to it. I was like, oh, this motherfucker's funny as fuck. Like, dude, I was dying, dude. He did that.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I always tell people that famous bit about going to Spain. Oh my God, dude. That shit has me fucking in tears, bro, when I'm listening. Because of the voices he does and the way he imitates the Spaniards. Those guys. He was always imitating those gallegos. And, what's a gallego? By the way, what the fuck is a gallego?
A gallego is a guy from a town called Galicia, and it's the equivalent of Polacks in American humor. They're dumb. It's the whole thing.
So I know in Sinaloa, and in Sinaloa they do jokes about la gente de Wasabe. That's their Polacks. Now I wouldn't say shit to anybody in Wasabe because Sinaloa, you never know. You know who the fuck's packing heat. So, is there something like that in Mexico City?
Sometimes we make fun of people from outside Mexico City, and we kind of like have this condescending humor about them, like they're living in the desert and they're living like in the countryside. That's kind of like what we
like who, the people
do.
in the north or what, or where?
Yeah, usually people in the north, like people from Monterrey. That there's a common joke that they marry their cousins and they have sex with
motherfuckers.
Inbred guys,
cousin fuckers.
and it's very fitting because the American South is right next to Monterrey,
and that's the same,
which is like
same stereotype.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the meridian they're in. I don't know
dude,
if it's like,
it's because there's a lot of Amish up there. There's Amish in Chihuahua. There's like fucking Menonitas. They sell. Have you ever looked at? Have you ever seen them? They're fucking. They're weird looking, bro. They look like they're born of inbreeding.
They're aliens.
That's
the good thing about
chromosomes are not.
The good thing about Menonitas is they'll never watch this. You can say whatever the fuck you want, dude.
Yeah.
And if they watch this, they'll be kicked out of their community. They'll never fucking be able to go home.
And they'll agree with us,
I heard this joke about an Amish girl who was excommunicated. It's a really dumb joke. I just remembered it. He said, this Amish girl was excommunicated. Why? 2 Mennonites.
2 Mennonites.
I'm sorry. It's a dumb joke. Dude, I just remembered it. I didn't say it was a good joke.
Have you seen the movie on Netflix about that community in Chile? Have you guys seen? Dude, it's called Colonia. God damn it. Hold on. Let me remember the name. But anyways, it's the Nazi motherfuckers that moved there and started a community. And Pinochet used to send the guys he would arrest to that community. And then they would do experiments on them the way the Nazis did to the Jews. But they would do it on little Chilean kids or Chilean people. Dude, Colonia Libertad. Colonia Libertad.
Oh.
Dude, it's I don't know if it's on Mexican Netflix, but it's here on American Netflix, Citric. If you have a VPN, check it out, dude.
Yeah, I gotta check it out, man.
But dude, it's fucking crazy, bro. They don't show the shit, but the reason I found out about it before I saw the movie, I just happened to see that it was on Netflix, right next to Carlos Ballarta, Furia Añera and shit, Yeah. What's the other one called? I always forget the other name of your other special, Vallarta.
El Amor de Putos.
El Amor de Putos. Have you seen his special? Citric, check it out on Netflix. He's got 2 specials on Netflix. Yeah.
I'm gonna check it out tonight, man.
But so on Joe Rogan's podcast, he had a guy on there that he said he would disguise himself as a travel channel guy, so Colonia Dignidad or something like that. And they fucking brought him in and he went in there and he was fucking discovering all this shit. And this guy used to be like a special ops guy in the Middle East where he would put bombs on cars and blow shit up just like terrorists do. And he says, I killed people with my hands. He goes, when this guy was telling me all this shit, man, I just wanted to kill this motherfucker, like right then and there, man. Like he said, it was just infuriating him. But you got to watch the movie. Dude, obviously, they made the movie because the people got away, right? I mean, they don't make the movie if nobody gets away, right? You know, so I'm not telling you anything.
Right, yeah.
Huh? What'd you say?
No, you're right. You're right.
Nobody ever tells a fucking story that everybody died and shit. Now there's a story. You know what I mean? Like that shit doesn't exist.
They get married in the end, though. Like the novelas.
Yeah. All right. They got married. They did. They did get married. It was a fucking couple and shit. They got married. Bro.
Okay, the people die, but then the marriage goes on in the end. So that makes it okay.
All right, gentlemen, we're gonna wrap this up, man. I appreciate you guys coming on today.
Thank
I know
you. Thanks.
Citric's been in his car for a fucking hour and a half and shit.
Oh, good, though.
Are you home yet?
Almost.
Are you driving?
Nah, I'm parked right now, dude.
Orale, okay, shit. Hey, dude, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate sitting in there an hour and a half just chilling. Vallarta could go back to Vallarta could go back to staring at his beautiful view of Guadalajara and shit. You know? I look outside my window, I see two homeless people fucking, dude. I mean,
Oh, so you got porn.
I don't need a streaming channel. I got it shit right outside. And
White
Talavera,
trash porn, nice.
thanks as always, Talavera, shit, for coming on, man.
Thank you for inviting me, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate it. So put this shit on. So,
Yeah, thank you for hitting me up too, dog.
yeah, hopefully you come back, dude. Do it again.
Yeah.
Do it again. There was some other stuff I wanted to get into, but I don't want to like take a lot of time. And like we were doing shows for 3 hours, and I was like, "Fuck that, man! I'm not doing that shit anymore." Like because it goes by so fast, dude. An hour and 40 minutes to me, it went by pretty damn fast. It's like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And Ballarta, I mean, it's hard to get a hold of his ass only because there's COVID-19 right now and shit.
Thanks, man. Thanks for inviting me.
All right, you guys.